Good morning, everybody. So today is day 49 for me. Yay. So maybe when I make, I don't know, 60, 100, I don't know, something special will happen. I don't know. Anyway, I read Psalm 125, verses 1 through 3 were my favorite. It says, "Those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion, which cannot be shaken, but endures forever. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people both now and forevermore. The scepter of the wicked will not remain over the land allotted to the righteous, for then the righteous might use their hands to do evil." So 3 questions. Really, it says, what non-Christian influences tempt you at home, work, school, or in society? How do you stay true with these temptations? When is it hardest for you to trust the Lord, and why is that? So the first question, what non-Christian influences tempt you at home, work, school, or in society? Okay, so I'm not going to share my temptations because then I think people will look at me bad. And I don't think, I guess maybe your deepest, darkest temptations you wouldn't share with anybody. I don't know. Anyways, actually, I think a lot of my temptations I've already shared, so what does it matter? But this is what I said. For me, I think the hardest thing right now is me being in lack and seeing people doing evil things and they're getting by. Which is lies from the enemy, because I wouldn't really want to do those evil things, I mean, maybe the flesh tells you like right in the moment that you would do it, but ultimately you wouldn't, because you would feel bad and all this stuff. So I'm going to read what I wrote because I know I'm going into what I said. And this, I thought of 2 things. This is what I thought of. I said, what if you knew if you did that sin that you wanted to do would keep someone else's soul from being saved? The question is, would you still do it? And I guess that's the way we need to look at things. If we looked at it at that standpoint, what if you knew if what you wanted to do, that sin that you wanted to do, would keep someone else's soul from being saved? Because people watch us, and the things that we do affect other people, and if we do that sin, then we're a bad witness. I mean, I know we're all human, but people look at Christians differently. They think that we're supposed to be perfect for some reason, and we're not. We're just like them, except for that we've accepted God into our lives and we're trying to live better and do better. But that doesn't mean we're not tempted. It doesn't mean we don't screw up. It doesn't mean we don't sin. And this is what I also put. It's always easier to blend in than to stand out. And that is so very, very true. So with all these temptations that you have, how do you stay true? This is what I put. I know that these things won't bring me true happiness. They're lies from the enemy. I've done enough. This is really what I put. I've done enough wrong things since to know it's not what I ultimately want, because I will feel bad. I will feel mad at myself and sad that I did that to God, because of everything he's done for me. And he only makes these rules, laws, whatever you want to call it, and tells you not to do certain things because he has our best interests at heart. And we know, we don't know better. He knows better than we do about how things will turn out and different stuff. So the last question is, what is it hardest for you to trust the Lord, and why is that? I'm just going to try and read what I wrote because I have to get into work. All right. The hardest times are, I put very painful times and multiple things happening. And when I say multiple, I mean multiple. Like every area you could possibly think that the enemy could hit you. That's what I'm talking about. But then another thing that I put, this is what I put. It's when I believe he, meaning God, spoke to me and it never looks like it will happen. Now the point of that is I'm not questioning God, because I know he's God, and I put in the fact that he can do it. So God can do anything he wants to do. So I'm not questioning whether or not God can do it. And I'm not questioning so much as, will God do it for me? Because I question that sometimes too. But the thing that gets me about when it's hardest to trust the Lord is when he says something, at least I think he said something to me, and it doesn't happen, or it looks like it'll never happen. I start questioning, do I have a relationship with him? Maybe not so much do I have a relationship with him, but am I actually hearing him? Do I actually hear from God? Am I walking in the right path? Am I doing the right things? That's hard for me, because to me, if I can't hear from God, then I don't know what to do. I won't know which way to go. And it's so funny because someone told me that I think if I remember correctly, they said they don't pray because God's given us everything in the Bible, which is weird because I mean I can kind of see it on one hand, but then on the other, like I hold on, let me correct myself. I don't think that he said that he doesn't pray, but he doesn't pray about asking God for directions for things, I guess, and which way to go. Because he said it's like all written in the Bible, which is just, I don't know, weird. I don't know. Maybe he's got some, I don't even know. Anyways, that's just weird to me because I need to know which way to go. I need to know what to do in each and every situation. And yes, I can read the word, and yes, there's certain things that are just a given. Excuse me, but some things I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like which job to take, where to live, you know, who you're gonna marry, if you're supposed to get married, you know, just whatever. There's just certain things. I mean, what things to say to people. I mean, I know there's specific things in the Bible and stuff, but those things for me, like, I need to know what to do or what to say in certain situations, because I'm gonna tell you right now, Mary always screws things up when she does it herself, because I'm me. I am looking at the things that I want. I'm looking at what I feel is best. I'm looking at whatever, you know, and God sees the whole picture. God knows the end from the beginning. God knows everything, you know. So anyways, I'm trying not to go out there, but I think the hardest thing in life is knowing what to do and whether we hear from God or not, you know, especially like I said, when you think he's told you something and then it's not happening, or it doesn't happen, you know, then it's hard to know that you actually hear from God. And the only instance I can think of that I strongly felt like 100% that I heard from God, it is in trying to adopt a little girl, you know. And when I had her, and I'm just saying this because yesterday at church, like, I broke down crying. I mean, I know probably nobody saw me because it was dark and stuff, but I broke down crying because I saw this little girl and it just reminded me of her. And I mean, she was so cute and so adorable. And it's still very hard for me. It's been July, August, September. It's been 3 months now, and it's still like, it's still very hard for me. Like, I'll cry right now. Like, it's just hard for me because, like, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. And I know for a fact that God told me to do it. So I guess it was just to take care of her for the time, you know, since she was so little, until she got a little bit older, you know, and help her to get everything done that needed to be done, because, you know, certain people don't do things. But it's still very hard for me. Anyways, I don't know where I was going with that. I'm going off. I don't want to do that because I felt like I'm about to cry, and I don't want to do that either because I have to go into work. So, but that's the hardest thing for me, is knowing whether or not God said something that, I mean, yeah. So I want to leave you with these two things that I thought, and I've already said them. I'm just going to repeat them. I don't know what I'm going to call this today. Maybe temptation and trusting God. I don't know. But it's always easier to blend in than to stand out. And that is so true. It's easier when people aren't standing for God, when people are cracking jokes that aren't right, when people are saying things about people, when people are just doing things. It's so much easier to blend in with those people than to stand out and to stand for God and everything that he believes, because people will treat you different. People will treat you bad. It'll hurt your heart. It'll be painful, that kind of thing. So it's always easier to blend in than to stand out. But God doesn't call us to blend in. God calls us to stand out. God calls us to stand on his word, to do the things that he's called us to do, to live for him according to his word. You know what I'm saying? So even though it's hard, we have to do it. And it's not always hard, but some situations, sometimes it is hard, because we don't want to be different, you know, like, we just want to sometimes just blend in, not even saying like in sins or whatever, sometimes we just don't want to stand out, you know. At least I don't, because I always feel like I'm different than everybody. And then the one thing that I guess I should impress upon us and myself is that I had to remember this. those temptations that we have, those things that make us want to sin, or whatever, those things that we shouldn't be doing, that we know are wrong in our sins. Think about it this way. What if you knew if you did that sin that you would keep someone else's soul from being saved? That's all I can say, and I'm gonna leave it right there. That would be very hard. If I, when I get to heaven, and if God shows me, okay, Mary, here's an instance where you did this. I'm not saying that he's going to, but I'm just, this is the way my mind thinks, is that if I get to heaven and God says, okay, remember this certain situation, and you remember when you did this sin, this person, was watching you, and then they turned away because of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would just break my heart to pieces, because that's not my goal. I don't want anybody's soul on me. You know what I'm saying? Not that it is, but people watch us and we affect other people. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be the ones changing this atmosphere and changing this world for the better, So, wow, just think about that. Like, if nothing else can convince you not to sin, just think about that in that moment. What if you doing that one sin, that one temptation that you want to do is going to cost someone else's soul to not be saved? What? Okay. Today's Monday. Yucky. But yay for Monday, right? Like, we all get to go to work. Yay, because we all have jobs, right? Pastor Stephen talked about the grind. What? Grace and the grind. Yeah, go hand in hand. Whew, I need Jesus' grace right now. Anyways, y'all have a wonderful, fabulous Monday. It's Monday. Yay. At least we're up, we're alive, we're awake, we can see, right? We have a job. We need to be grateful for that. What? All right, peace out. Y'all have a fabulous day.